At 6:09 p.m. and apologize for our tardiness. We had a sizable agenda. You'll please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. And this evening, Mr. Corvier is going to do the invocation.
Good evening. Lord, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for our mayor and council and everyone here. Lord, we thank you for our new officers. We pray that you bless them and their families. We pray for your wisdom and help us to better understand each other. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Mike, if you'll take the roll, please.
All right, Madam Mayor. Councilman Lloyd. Here. Councilman Schlack.
Present.
Councilman Barr.
Here.
Councilman Marcos.
Here.
Councilman Linares.
Here.
Pro Tem Nick.
Here.
And Mayor McLeod.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve tonight's agenda?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Nick,
Support.
supported by Mr. Marcos. Any corrections or changes?
Through the chair, Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Resolution 4, we would like it either amended or revised to read as follows. Resolution to continue current towing contract with Motor City Towing on a month-to-month basis, and removal of paragraphs 12, 13, and 16 from the current contract, and a request for proposal for towing services to be prepared.
Is that acceptable to the original motion makers on second?
Yes. Yes.
Then we will revise the agenda. Is there any other changes to the agenda?
Mayor, I'd like to remove the handbill distributor from the consent agenda and just remove it from the agenda in general so it can be considered by legal affairs.
Okay. Is that acceptable to the individuals making the motion on second?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So that we will remove license and permits from the consent agenda and revise Resolution 4 as proposed by Mr. Valerius. Any other changes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting of June 11th?
Motion, Mayor.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Valerius, second by Mr. Varr. Any changes or corrections? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Now we come to a presentation, the swearing in of our new hire full-time police officers.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Been a bit before I've been in front of you. So I'm going to start by thanking a few people. Thank you guys for your thoughts and prayers while I was sick. I went in for a deviated septum surgery from thinking I was invincible about 30 years, black belt sparring, and my nose looked like an S. And of course, I'm the one in a million that had an artery bleed inside my head. So I bled out 4 times in a week. So yeah, I appreciate that. I wanted to thank our fire department. I know we got a great police department and fire department, but until you're laying on a gurney, you don't know how good it is. So thank you to Courtney and Derek. They'll tell you I was a mess. So having said that, our mission statement is everyone working together to enhance safety and service for our community, and all who visit. That's what we're about. That's what we do every day. Lieutenants want to shoot up here for a second? I know I saw Lieutenant Feltz back there. So Lieutenant Granica, this is his last one. He's a month shy of 30 years with our department. He was our FDO coordinator for the last 4.5 years, something like that. Put through, I want to say 13 people through FDO, and Lieutenant Schreier is going to be picking up the mantle with that. Trying to get this many people through FDO at the same time is not an easy task, but they've been great at it. We have co-coordinators, Sergeant Harvey and Seagrass, that are going to help. So they're doing a great job. Chris did a great job, so we appreciate that. So I'm going to try and keep this short. So if I could get Kieran O'Connell, Jaden St. Andre, come on up here. Both these officers have bachelor degrees, so they already received their ribbon from us with that. Isaac McGrath. Isaac won an award for defensive tactics, and we found out during defensive tactics, he doesn't have nerves in his face or neck. Me, I cry like as soon as you touch those nerves. Jaden won the Iron Woman contest and was lieutenant in the academy and a couple scholarships. Ricky Bundy and Dylan Konecki, you guys want to come up here? All these guys, and ladies, well, actually, that's not true. All these guys were sergeant at some point in the academy. Jaden was lieutenant of the class, which is great. So we appreciate that. Mike, when you're ready, we'll do it again. Guys want to turn it this way?
I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand, and I'm not going to have you repeat after me, but at the end, say, I swear, I do, I affirm, whatever you feel most comfortable with. Do you solemnly swear that you'll support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, and that you will endeavor to secure and maintain an honest and efficient administration of the affairs of the city of Allen Park, free from partisan distinction or control, and that you will perform the duties of full-time police officer to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. All right, congratulations.
You guys can turn around. I know the council's going to. And
Yeah.
I know the council want to give you
Now,
a few
yes,
words.
before we let you go, because we won't make you sit here through this entire agenda, we have found over the past that it doesn't behoove us to wait until we get to council comments to pay our compliments to you when you're long gone. So we will start with Mayor Pro Tem Nick, and
Okay, well, I just thank you for choosing Allen Park. From Chief Egan, all of your accomplishments. Wow, that's great. Being an Iron Woman Award, thank you. So welcome to Allen Park.
Thank you.
I met most of you at the COP and council meeting, but just wanted to reiterate, law enforcement, tough job, tough role. The way it's viewed nowadays is different than it was years ago. I just appreciate you not only choosing Allen Park to start your careers, but choosing law enforcement as a career. Thank you. Just stay safe.
Yeah, thank you for coming to Allen Park. Are you guys sure you're old enough? I got kids twice as old. It's scary. I'm really getting old. But thank you for picking Allen Park. You find it to be a great city. The citizens will really take care of you. They'll help you out, and all of us will too. So thank you very much for coming to Allen Park.
Gerald.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you for choosing Allen Park. I know the shoes you're in right now. I was a police officer for a federal agency here in Allen Park. Be safe. We're here for you. My mind right now says I can still do this job. Body says no. So, congratulations.
That's a tough act to follow, following a former police officer, but thank you definitely for coming to Allen Park, and a special thank you to your families that are going to be worried sick about you when you're out on patrol. So thank you to them, and thank you for choosing our city. I look forward to hearing more about your accomplishments. Thank you.
Dan?
Congratulations. I know that you guys, it's been a huge process going through. Probably the worst part is having to sit through these city council meetings for the last couple of months. So, 2 weeks from now, you guys can stay at home. So we appreciate you guys coming to Allen Park, and good luck and be safe out there. Thank you so much.
Tim?
Congratulations and welcome to our city. Thank you.
Mike?
I swore him in originally, so. Good luck, and we're always here if you need us.
And again, I did meet several of you at several different events. We are thrilled to have you. You will hear it over and over again, and we wish you the best of luck. You will find this a very welcoming community. And And we know that our residents are going to really appreciate having you on board. So thank you very much for choosing Allen Park.
If you guys can go to our side of the building and take pictures so it's not loud through here. I will just leave you with this, with these five, with Lieutenant Granica retiring and Sergeant Gursky retiring in a couple weeks, we're actually fully staffed, which is amazing. It's been a long, long time since we have been. We have another officer that went through this class that's finishing up some stuff for the state. We should be hiring her the end of August, beginning of September, right when our second school resource officer goes in the middle school. So very happy, very excited about that. So thanks, guys.
Nice work. Thank you. All right, we'll just move on. And City Treasurer Timothy Estheimer has a treasurer's report.
Yeah, a nice, boring subject to follow such a prestigious honor of the swearing-in of our new police officers. But here we go. So this is a reminder about personal property taxes. So business owners, there's two types of property taxes, real property taxes, which is your actual property, and personal property. Real is what we bill 2 times a year for, and all residents get the bill. Some mortgage companies get them, and some defer those payments, or even can fill out forms to like a veteran's exemption form or poverty exemption. But everybody knows what that is. But the businesses that I communicate with on a regular basis, they pay both those taxes. Whether you own the building or lease the building, you will get one or both of those taxes. The personal property, that basically is the contents that are inside of a building. And there are exemptions that are available for businesses that meet certain criteria. We collect those delinquent taxes here at the city and not the county. The real personal property tax, as well as your residential, we collect those at the city until February 28th, and as of March 1st, those delinquent property taxes are turned over to the county. And then they make us whole as a city, and then they collect on our behalf. So just kind of a little property tax 101. I still have a number of businesses in the city that are delinquent. I generally send 3 letters to them and have made attempts to visit each of these businesses on multiple times to collect that debt. As a business owner myself, I understand that even the smallest tax can be difficult. So I just encourage you to reach out to me if you're a business owner and you're delinquent on your personal property taxes, and we can work out a payment plan individualized for you. The finance clerks that work that desk at the Treasury payment window are 2 fantastic, knowledgeable ladies. The deputy city clerk is usually in every day, and she was a former finance clerk, and she's always available to help out in that area too. So I encourage you to please contact us. And as I said, if you are eligible, there is a form that's available online. We have it here for you, but form number 5076, and that could allow you to be exempt from that specific tax. So again, reach out to me or my department to discuss if we can see if you're eligible for that. And if you're in the audience tonight and have questions, I stick around after every meeting and meet with whomever I can or whoever has questions. So please don't be shy. You can approach me up here. I just also want to mention, so with that personal property tax collection with the businesses, in the past 3 months, I've collected about 50% of the delinquents, and those go back several years, some of them. So far, about 60% of the actual outstanding tax revenue has been collected. So we're proud of that accomplishment, but we have some more work to do to get to the rest of those folks. And sometimes it's just a matter of not getting the right person. It's a corporate account, so you're delivering something at a local unit, and they have to pass it on, and sometimes there's a failure in that process. Number 2, and I just have to read our official tax statement. So this is our official notice about tax collection. So I'll just read my statement here. It was on Facebook, and it's published on our website. But the official notice is hereby given by Treasurer Tim Estheimer that the 2024 summer property tax notices will be out for collection by July 1st, 2024. The 2024 summer taxes will be due August 15th, 2024, and accepted without penalty until August 31st. September 1st, a 1% penalty will be added on the first of each month, starting September 1st. And again, that is until March 1st, when those are turned over to the county. For your convenience, tax payments can be made online through our website at cityofallenpark.org. Also, we have a secure drop box out front in the parking lot there, close to the building, and that's monitored by the police department cameras, so it's safe. I would encourage you definitely not to put money in there, only checks, please. And then also, you can write us, or you can drop it in the mail at 15915 Southfield Road, Allen Park, or in person here at City Hall, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 4:30 at the Treasury payment window, with the exception of July 4th, as the offices will be closed for Independence Day. If you have any questions, call the office, 313-928-1400, or email myself, and my email is available on the Treasury website. I'm not going to read it. I have a long last name. But I encourage you to contact me if you have any questions. I mentioned in a previous meeting that you'll notice a few different things this year when you receive your tax bill. We've now included a return envelope for those that mail in their checks and a QR code on the envelope for those that pay online. Also, please read the back of your bill. Many times there may be helpful answers to some of your questions on there. So we'd like you to read the back of that bill, and then if you have any questions, again, let us know. We do accept credit cards. There is a small fee for using a credit card, and again, all that info is on the back of the bill that you receive. And one last thing as far as that goes is if you receive a bill and your mortgage company was supposed to receive that bill, please forward it to them. There may have been some type of a failure, but just to be on the safe side, if you shouldn't be receiving that tax notice if your mortgage company was supposed to get it. So please forward that to your mortgage company. Number 4, we have some different programs that I mentioned earlier that we have available right now, and if needed, I encourage you to take advantage of those. They're on the city website Treasurer page. Deputy Lovelock just put it like a quick link on the side, on the Treasury's page, and it's tax forms, it says, and you click in there and there's going to be something for ACH billing, which is the auto deduction from your bank account. This can be completed and returned before your summer bill due date and returned to the Treasury window. The summer deferment, if you're eligible, this allows you to defer your summer tax bill without penalty until February 14th. That's a great program for those having some financial difficulties and need a little time, but again, there's certain criteria that you must meet. The veterans exemption, that's something that is now handled with our assessing department, but we do have the forms available online. And lastly is the poverty exemption. So those are all available either on our website. You can email me and I can send some to you, or you can come in the office and they have them behind the desk. And that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Moving on to the city administrator's report. I think that the Detroit Tigers' recent play has made a meal. But at any rate, the Pinecrest Drive project, all the inside island curbs have been installed, and the contractor is now working on the outside curbs. Construction should continue over the next 2 months. The starting date for the bridge project on Reek Road at the Sexton and Kilfoyle Drain will be July 15th. The reconstruction of Wick Road from Pelham Road to the railroad tracks and Herrick Street from Pelham to the cul-de-sac is scheduled to start in mid-July. In August, DPS Director Tom Murray will be participating in the Asset Management Champion Program sponsored by the Michigan Infrastructure Council, Transportation Asset Management Council, and Water Asset Management Council. Tom will be a speaker on a panel on emerging technologies in asset management called Navigating the Future of Assets, How Emerging Technologies Are Transforming Management Strategies. The program is being held at Grand Valley State University in Grand Rapids. The Michigan Department of Transportation recently notified the city of an upcoming permanent standby generator project that will supply backup power at the pump stations located near Southfield Road and Roosevelt, Southfield and I-94, Southfield and Outer Drive, and Southfield and Oakwood. The construction phase of the project will begin this summer and is anticipated to be completed in the fall of 2025. At the selected sites, there will be a generator installed on a leveling pad. The leveling pad will be enclosed by a 6-foot chain link fence with 3-strand barbed wire on top. The generator will run during a monthly maintenance cycle lasting up to 45 minutes. Otherwise, the generator will only run when there is a power outage and the pumps need to operate. MDOT feels this project is a major step in preventing the detrimental impacts of flooding on our roadways. The generators installed at the 3 city pump stations, Lawrence, Quant, and Watson, have been installed and are operational. The following employees will reach a milestone in years of service with the city. Zachary Nielsen, Police Department, 10 years on June 30th. Sandy Blakeney, Library Director, 10 years, July 1st. Actually, 26 and a half with the library, but at one time, our library was under Wayne County. Brandy Swinert, Assistant Library Director, 5 years, July 1st, 10 at the library, again, under Wayne County. Jeffrey Hayda, Fire Department, 25 years on July 8th. And that concludes the administrator's report. Any comments, or backwards? May I have a motion to accept and file?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mr. Barr. Any comments or questions? For which I have no answers. But somebody would. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. The next order of business is to approve the assignment of GFL Environmental USA Incorporated to Priority Waste LLC effective 6/25/24. Motion.
Motion.
Motion by, Mr. Marcos,
Support.
supported by Mr. Schlack. Everyone got the memo. I will read what we all received. The City of Allen Park was recently notified by GFL Environmental USA that they have agreed to sell the assets of their Southeast Michigan residential solid waste collection business to Priority Waste. Under the terms and conditions of the Allen Park Municipal and Residential Solid Waste Collection and Disposal, Recycling and Composting Program Agreement that was signed by GFL in 2021, GFL needs approval of the council and written consent of the city to assign the remainder of the contract to Priority Waste. And that is what we would be approving this evening. I don't know if there is anyone else from one of the departments here that might be able to answer questions. If you have any.
I'm with GFL Environmental, here to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions of the gentleman? Apparently not. We want our waste to continue to be picked up and our recycling and bulk. So if there's no questions or comments, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Now we come to the public comment section. You have 4 minutes to come up. All we ask is that you provide your name and the street on which you live. Please do not provide your full address. And the other thing that we ask is please do not mention anyone's personal life, and please be civil.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Wayne Albright, Promenade Avenue. Before my time starts, through the rules of decorum and Robert's rules, I'm actually requesting 1 extra minute of time. I have some very important information that I need to give to you. I do not believe that I could do it in the 4 minutes allotted, so it's a request that I'm asking for.
I would motion to give him an extra minute.
Second.
Do we vote?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I appreciate that. Thank you. Tonight, I'm requesting that a formal investigation be conducted into the Police Chief Chris Egan through the Civil Service Commission for multiple violations of the Act 78, 38.514, Section 14. That section deals with removal and dismissal from office for a number of reasons. I have 5 that are listed in my complaint that he has done multiple times. When you hear what he did on my third complaint, you're going to be disgusted. You will be surprised, but I'm not. But the one word that probably will come to your mind is dismissal from office, because attacking a resident and his family is totally uncalled for, and I will get to that. My first complaint does deal with the fundraising that I brought up 2 weeks ago, which there has been no permits pulled, that's just no accountability. My second complaint does deal with malfeasance and dishonesty. Under the rules, section 274, it does talk about a public official cannot solicit money for personal gain, which we all know he did on Facebook. Asking for money for his family, for food, for an entire month while I was off. I appreciate that he had surgery. I do not doubt that he needed that time off. He took the entire month, 18 days off under the Family Medical Leave Act, but he did not use sick time. And I think it's important for people to know that he got paid his full-time salary while he was off, and he used 144 hours of accumulated leave time, which by his contract does not exist. He does not get anything. There's no provisions in his contract that gives him accumulated leave that he can just take off and get paid for being at home. And what's insulting is while he was off the entire 18 days, which means he did not work one single day that month of April, somehow his timesheet shows an additional 16 hours of AL time at the end of the month. How he got to that, or how he accumulates time when he's not working, the only word that can come to my mind is fraud, fraud, fraud. The state police need to come in, or the attorney general, to look into this. This is a crime. It's been going on for a long time. If you look back, probably the 4 years he's been here, I'm looking at 500, maybe 600 hours that he is fraudulently used against the city. It's ridiculous. And all I can say is, one of you might want to talk to him, because there's more coming. In the next section that I'm going to talk about, the personal slams on my family, it is so bad that he probably needs to go right away. He could slip away with his pension, but if this continues and he gets charged with this is open and shut here, he could very well lose his job and his pension. I kind of don't want to see that, but I do want to see him go. The police department, most of the guys over there, they can't wait for him to go. It's terrible over there. The morale is tanked, and they're all afraid to say something. The one that I want to talk about the most, is just so disgusting, is that he went after my family, all because I'm a citizen and I asked questions 2 weeks ago. He went to a business owner in town, which the business owner will come forward, and he talked about my divorce of 27 years ago. All right, details, trashing my divorce of 27 years ago. I don't know what that has to do with our current situation here in Allen Park, and whether permits have been pulled and whether he's dishonest or not, but that's a slanderous, shameful thing that he did. But he went a step further and a step lower, and he went after my son. My son did something when he was 14, and he paid the price. And he went through it. He was held accountable. He took accountability, unlike our chief's doing now. And everybody went past it. He became the captain of the football team in Allen Park. You can see this is pretty upsetting. He's a police officer now, and I'm worried that because of what Chris Egan's done, his job could be in jeopardy, all because I came forward as a citizen, and this is how I get treated. And my family. He then went on and trashed me to this business owner and said I was involved in a lawsuit that cost the city millions of dollars when I hit a guy in the head with a shotgun. That is an utter lie. That was the city of Melvindale. Anybody can look up the case, Shea versus the city of Melvindale, where a Melvindale officer was fired for that. I was never accused of anything. So this is a blatant attempt to slander me, defame my character, embarrass me in the public, and I've got a good reputation when I left the police department after 27 years. And I don't know how many people he talked to that might believe that about me now. All right? So there's something that you have to figure out here as a council. I have a lawsuit waiting, and I'm, out of respect to the fire department, I am not filing that lawsuit, because I know you right now have the important job of trying to gather money and support for the fire department. But I will tell you right now, if Chief Egan says my name or my family's name or even my dog's name, I will file the lawsuit, and then that'll be, I can't tell you what's going to happen. All right? My time is up.
Your time is up.
I sure hope that you act on this. I have I have my reports here for the city clerk.
Good evening to this honorable body. My name is Mary Waters. I live on Navarre Place in the city of Detroit. I am currently an at-large city council member in the city. I'm a former state representative where I was the first African-American female floor leader in the history of the Michigan House of Representatives. So I wanted to come out and just introduce myself to you all. I certainly look forward to the opportunity of working with each of you in the future. And I wanted to make sure that this body in particular, because this is where everything starts, right here at the local level, have an opportunity to work with you. And I wanted to also introduce myself to the people here, the residents in Allen Park. And I thank you so very much for your time. I didn't need much of it, but I will finally say I'm a candidate for Congress in the 13th Congressional District. I thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Evening, Mayor and Council, Edward Spacher, Meyer Avenue. Like to thank everybody that volunteered, our sponsors, and everybody that came out for our event last Thursday, the 20th, for the Allen Park Citizens Civic Fund annual pizza, wine, and beer tasting event. It went really well, and again, thank you to everybody. Now I'm here to talk about tomorrow night, Music in the Street. It's gonna feature the Motor City Eagles. They're an Eagles tribute band. But during the break at 8 o'clock, when the band takes a break, we're gonna be hosting a ceremony to honor the DJs, big-time names that were all natives of Allen Park, along with two bands that made it at the national and international level. They're gonna be commemorated, they're gonna be acknowledged as Allen Park residents and making Allen Park the city that rocks. Well, everybody have a great night, and go Allen Park!
Where is that at? Is that at the community center?
Yes, at the community center in the parking lot. Bring your lawn chairs, and it's gonna clear up tomorrow night, just like today.
Good evening. I'm not a resident of Allen Park, so I wanted to wait kind of till last. My name's Daryl Campbell. I'm assistant coordinator at Schoolcraft Police Academy. I came here tonight with my recruits to bid them a farewell from us, so to speak. I'm not here representing them, I'm here representing myself. But to bid them a farewell and congratulate you guys on the group of recruits you got. Those recruits go through a lot when they're with us. I go to these all the time. I didn't get to come here with your last group because I was at another place or another city with another group that we had, so I missed that one, unfortunately. But you know, this is a good group of recruits you guys got. They went through a lot. They came to the academy on their first day, and they were all looking alike, and they got our attention really quick because they looked squared away. And getting our attention, whether it's good or bad, is never a good thing. So they had a difficult first day. They had a difficult second and third and fourth and a lot of other days after that. But this is a squared away group of recruits that you guys got. To get a DT award from our academy means a lot. To get the Iron Man or Iron Woman award, whichever one applies to the person that gets it, is a really big deal. It doesn't just mean you're the most physically fit. It means you were the best recruit of the class because it means you did everything. It's just not a physical part of the academy. So I just wanted to make sure I stopped, said hello to you guys as a city council, congratulate you on the group of recruits you guys sent us. They were impressive for us. Also, I had the opportunity to meet your chief years ago in staff of command. I was the president of the class, he was the vice president. There was some contention on that vote. I had to bribe a few people to get it. So he doesn't know that, don't tell him. But I had to bribe a few people so I could be the president. I remember speaking with him about some of the changes he wanted to make, you know, some diversity stuff and, you know, uniform and things like that. And it's funny, you know, seeing and coming here and seeing some of the changes he made. It is funny remembering talking to him then and seeing some of the changes that came to the department there. So I will say he does communicate with the academy quite a bit, and he always wants our best recruit. I can't promise our best recruits to any department. We have 47 departments that feed our academy, so I can't say, hey, this recruit should go there. But I can say, that's a good recruit. You might want to talk to that person. And he's one of the few, believe it or not, one of the few that actually does it. All of them ask, but very few of them actually do it. And he did, and he sounds like he's getting one of our better recruits that's going to come a little bit later. He's got one of our best ones now, the Iron Woman Award. So congratulations again. I'm off. I got to go to another place and see a couple recruits off. Thanks again.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity. We're here with the Allen Park American Legion Post 409, and we wanted to thank you guys for the use of your police color guard, and it give us your continued support. They've been able to come out every year for our memorial, programs. They've done some funerals for us. So we wanted to thank you, and we hope to continue to get the support from the police department. That's all we want to do is thank you for their support.
Well, thank you.
Number one and first and foremost, thanks for paving our alley. I don't know how many times I took a bushel basket and got coal patch and patted it down with a shovel, but it was too many. Thank you very much for that. Also, we are opening our office in DCC 3 days a week, Tuesday from 9 to 3, Wednesday 9 to 3, and Thursday 9 to 3.
For any veterans in the city that need assistance.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of resources.
Southgate.
But you'll be moving.
Yes, we will. Other than that, I'd like to thank the chief over here. He called out to me. He needed a DD 214, which is a discharge for civilians or for military. I got it to him, got him straightened away. He's burying his dad up at Great Lakes Cemetery on Thursday.
Well,
thank you very much, and thanks for getting our alley done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. I see my street.
Just your name on your street.
Annie on Belmont. I just was listening. This is my first time attending. Kind of embarrassed, but I have watched it on TV, and I thank you for your time. But I was sitting in the back, and when I was listening to the first gentleman that spoke, for the record, I want you to know when Chief Egan was on medical leave, he was not begging for food online. We did a meal train for him, and I was part of it, and I'm proud to be part of it because he works and serves the community very well. And at the same time, his wife was very ill. So we all put together as a community and friends and family, and we did a meal train for him. There was no begging. No one asked for money, and no one asked for food. So I wanted to clarify that. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if there's no one else coming forward, we will close public comments and move on to the consent agenda, which this evening consists of purchasing actions, claims and accounts, and payroll report. Motion. Motion by Mr. Marcos. Second by Mr. Barr. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolutions. Resolution 1 is to approve Eunice Maury on behalf of Comcast Cable for door-to-door solicitation permit request number 1-2024 with a $300 fee. Motion.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd. supported by Mr. Schlack. Any comments or questions? Would the clerk want to fill us in a little bit on this solicitation?
This is just a standard door-to-door solicitation permit. It was put on hiatus during COVID, so that's why I didn't put it on consent and I put it on the resolutions. Because I know a lot of them were referred to legal affairs and so. But if you guys have no problem, Comcast has not caused many issues, so.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed?
No.
One no. That would be Mr. Marcos. And for those who are watching, we started some years ago. I know that oftentimes people will comment about people approaching them and knocking on their door. We do post when a license like this has been approved. If it's not on the website, it has not been approved. So if someone comes up to your door trying to sell you something and they are not on the website, you may ask them to please leave or you will contact the police. Thank you. Resolution 2 is to support the Senior Alliance 2025 Annual Implementation Plan. The senior, may I have a motion, please?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Ms. Nick. Basically, the Senior Alliance has notified the city that the 2025 Annual Implementation Plan is available for review on their website, which is www.thesenioralliance.org. The plan was approved by the TSA Board of Directors at their May 23rd, 2024 meeting. While the requirements of the State of Michigan Department of Health and Human Services have changed and TSA is no longer required to have a resolution of approval from the City of Allen Park, it would be our recommendation that the city still support the TSA Plan Year 25 plan. At this time, we are requesting that the Mayor and Council approve a resolution supporting the Senior Alliance 2025 Annual Implementation Plan. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Thank you. Resolution 3 is to waive the city bid process as there is no economic benefit to bid since using the Macomb County bid price and approved the police department purchase of one 2024 Ford Explorer from Lunghammer Ford for $38,323 with funds from account 401-000-985-002 2024-25 capital improvement budget. Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Barr, second by Mr. Marcos. Chief Egan.
So this is part of our budget process. We have 2 patrol cars and another undercover blank car, I guess you would say unmarked car. Roy Shipman from the garage is making sure our cars are getting in, get them out real quick. This one is being held for us if it's approved. That's why this one's going before the other 2. So we're trying to get that in, get a VIN number. We had a very long delay with Ford, years to get cars. We actually have all of them being turned over right now. Roy's doing a great job with that. So then we will come back for the 2 patrol cars later, but he actually has this car on hold for us right now. So city administrator and I worked together when I originally got on. We had 9 of our 13 cars at over 100,000 miles. 2 more had over 80,000 miles. So we got on a plan to turn over and keep putting cars into our service. Right now, I believe we have 16 new vehicles. So we're doing great there. It's set for the next 5 years.
And after you take delivery, then it has to be sent out for additional.
Yeah, so we do get the government rate price, and then we send it to Synergy. And Taylor last time bought like a whole bunch of Tahoes and put everybody behind. So Chuck Synergy is getting them in and out real quick now. Roy said, hey, we should be getting these done fast. So you're talking to put a cage and lights and a bar and computers and a stand, another almost $30,000 to put in a car. So even though these are getting at a cheap price, it's still not cheap.
But what you need.
It is what we need, yeah. We obviously have to add another school resource officer car, so we'll shuffle some things around, but we're in the best shape we are for vehicles, and we've been in a very, very long time, so.
Does anyone have any questions? Comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 4, which I will let Mr. Valerius read for us since it was revised.
Resolution 4, resolution to continue current towing contract with Motor City Towing on a month-to-month basis and removal of paragraphs 12, 13, and 16 from the current contract, and a request for proposal for towing services to be prepared.
Motion.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Nick.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius. Comments or questions? Would you like to speak to this?
Sure. Yeah, I brought the motion forward after speaking to the city administrator. This is language that's been in our contracts for 3-4 chiefs now. One of the tow companies brought to our attention that the law changed, and although I may have a disagreement on how it's perceived, our tow company and the previous tow company, the company before that, did offer some services. For instance, when we have a flat tire, they change our flat tire. When a child or a senior or an animal in a car, they opened it for us. If our car needed to be towed, or our fire department has a vehicle where they use the Jaws in Life for training and all that, they did that all for free. By no means did they have to do that for us to give a contract, but if the law has changed, I agree with Councilman Valerius. We should table this, research it, remove that if we need to. And speaking to the city attorney and the city prosecutor, I would agree with that. I didn't have a problem going out for bids. I still don't. I will say Motor City, Motown, they came in when we really needed them. They bought City Towing, took the end of their contract, and they've done a great job for us. But whoever you go with, I'm okay with. So
Thank you.
I would support that for sure.
Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Resolution is approved. Thank you, Chief. Resolution 5, to approve the notice of intent to issue capital improvement GOLT bonds for the fire station project pursuant to Public Act 34 of 2001 in the amount of $8.5 million over 30 years. Motion, please.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Schlack.
Second.
Second by Mr. Barr. Gentlemen.
Good evening. We're here tonight to discuss the bond request to look at that regarding a major renovation of the Allen Park Fire Station. The fire station was built in 1968 and it is in very rough shape on the inside. The outside, we've done a lot to try to keep it up. We have foundation issues where parts of the building are sinking. We have lack of facilities for our female employees. We have lack of filtration systems for our air that we're breathing. The building is old. We have sewer systems that are backing up. So we need to do a lot of work to this building to keep it up to the standards that our crews and our employees deserve. That way we can continue to serve the citizens in an efficient manner.
Mr. Liscombe.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. My name is Ron Liscombe. I'm an attorney with Miller Canfield. I serve as the city's bond counsel. What you have in front of you tonight for your consideration is a notice of intent resolution. The resolution would authorize the publication of a notice of intent in the local newspaper that would put electors on notice of your intent to move forward with issuing limited tax general obligation bonds for the fire station improvements. It would authorize, it sets the maximum amount not to exceed $8.5 million and maturing over 30 years. We put that in there to provide flexibility in the event that costs come in higher and interest rates fluctuate. I know that you want to limit the amount that you spend on debt service, so that just provides us a little bit of flexibility to play around with term and things along those lines. So you also would be declaring your declaration to reimburse in the event that the city pays for any expenses, hard expenses of the fire station project prior to the receipt of bond proceeds. You could always reimburse yourself. So if you have any questions, happy to answer them.
Anyone have any questions? This is a first step in a rather lengthy process. It does not mean that we are getting the funds now. It simply means that we are establishing that we intend to apply for these funds.
Correct.
If there's no further questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Resolution has been approved. Chief O'Reilly.
So with the news that the city council is moving forward with the consideration of the remodel of the fire department, I would like to announce that we will be hosting some fire station tours for the public to come by and take a look for themselves. The dates and times are July 10th, it's a Wednesday, from 5 to 7 at night. July 24th, it's a Wednesday, from 5 to 7 at night. And then August 10th, it's a Saturday morning from 9 to 11. While the fire department loves having visitors and people stop by, we are quite busy, and the employees are living there and trying to respond and do their jobs day in and day out. So we're putting these times out, that way the deputy chief and I can be there to make sure there's someone always there at the station, and we can answer your questions without truly interrupting mealtime or rest time for the employees. But as always, you're always welcome to stop by and say hi. And, you know, quick questions, you can send me an email or call me. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions anyone has. But again, July 10th, July 24th from 5 to 7 at night, and then August 10th from 9 to 11. Thank you.
Thank you. We will also get that up on our website and our Facebook pages, because I encourage everyone that can to please take advantage and do a tour of the facilities so you get a good feel as to what is needed. Resolution 6. Resolution to approve the recommendation of the administrative staff and that the city enter into a professional services contract for the construction document / permit / bidding proposal for the, for the fire station renovation and addition project with JSV Construction Company and the SADC Group for a cost of $178,500 with funds from account 401-336-985-000. Motion.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Marcos.
Second.
Second by
Mr. Valerius.
I'm sorry.
It's close.
Mike,
I'm sorry.
Mike
Mr.
got it. We sound so similar.
I can't tell who's got the raspy voice. Okay, so we have Matt Valerius, and the second is by Mr. Lloyd. Do I have that right now? Thank you.
All right, I'm up again.
You're up again.
So tonight, we're moving forward with the process of taking a look at the remodel of the station, and we're asking for the funds to continue the process. I've been working with the architects and the construction company on working out the plan, getting the rough ideas right now, trying to come up with a solution to all the problems that we have that can make our department work efficiently. And so we're at the next step of asking for some funds to continue the contracts with these groups.
Mr. Vig?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Joe Vig with JS Vig Construction Company. As the chief has indicated, and also I'd like to introduce with the SIDOC group, Stacy Peterson and Kim Nye. Stacy and Kim and their team at SIDOC have been working for some months with the chief and his team in the fire department on the schematic design and the design development for the fire station improvements. The chief has with him here a proposed floor plan and a phasing plan for the project, which includes the renovation to the existing station, as well as an addition and a new apparatus bay. And so we've been both working on the schedule. We are in the process of preparing a detailed budget to bring back to council for the August meeting. This resolution that is proposed currently is to complete the construction drawings for this project so that we can bid the project in October and bring those bids, those competitive bids, back to City Council for approval with the intent, if we are approved by council, of mobilizing to start work on Phase 1 in November of this year in accordance with the requirements of the bond. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you very much. No more questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved.
Thank you.
Very much. Another step in the right direction. Resolution 7, to update and approve the employee benefits plan for administrative/appointed staff. Motion, please.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius. We have a cover memo from our Director of Human Resources. The last approved benefit plan for administrative/appointed employees is over 9 years old, from early in 2015. After a review of other communities and internal union contract changes, the plan is no longer competitive. These changes are recommended based on internal union contract comparisons, benefits offered by comparable cities, and concerns of council. The intent is to create a plan that is within our means, that improves our ability to recruit quality candidates and to retain experienced staff. And then there was a list of the items that were covered, which are extensive, and there was other material provided, as well as the plan itself. Are there any questions or comments, please?
Comments, Mayor? if I may.
Sir, yes.
I want to say thank you for all the work that went into the plan. I know that it's been a while since there. The few things that I did go through, and I wanted to discuss this in our study session, but we ran out of time. The few things that popped in my head, I think that it should be changed from incentives to bonuses. Like, for example, there's an education incentive, not the tuition reimbursement. I'm 100% for that. I believe we should go all out. The current language says Michigan only. I think it should change to any state, as long as it's accredited university or college. Other than the ed incentive, it goes up to $250 to $1,000 based on if you have a bachelor's or master's up to a PhD, which I agree it should be a one-time bonus, but as the language is currently stands, it's an incentive that will be paid out annually, and I just feel that's too much. It's for some time, I feel that's why you get hired in, or you get bonuses or raises in this extent every year. You shouldn't, this is just another incentive that I don't agree on. For example, someone could have we'll say a bachelor's for over 10 years. Now you're gonna keep paying for that bachelor's, or have you. Now say they get another bachelor's, sure. So that's one. The other one is a residency incentive, which again, I agree that that's a good one, but it should be a one-time bonus, and that's being paid out at $1,000 annually. Again, not that I'm against one time once you get hired in, or maybe those employees that are currently in to get that bonus, sure, and a bonus, not $1,000 every year. That's a pretty big, hefty incentive. And finally, a wellness incentive, which again, I'm 100% for wellness incentive to approve. The language as written, it seems to indicate that you can get this physical done in November and then get a $500 yearly incentive for doing so. Again, I would be more than willing to compromise and say, lower that to say 100 or 125, and I do have comparables, and these are benefits that, or incentives that across the board are largely not there. Few of them are, few of them aren't, but with this wellness incentive, I just can't say $500. That's a pretty big chunk with, I believe there's other incentives could be done. For example, if you're a smoker and you want to quit smoking, that we could help provide patches and other ways to do so. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Through the chair.
Yes.
I think that this, my comments more pertaining to the next 3 resolutions because I think it does. Through some conversations that I've had, I think it's something that's important to consider is the larger economic forces that we as an employer are existing in, and that we are in an increasingly competitive labor market. It's something that affects every aspect of the city, from our union employees all the way up to our administrative staff. We are seeing that across the board, firefighters down 4 officers. This is the first time since I've been on council that we've had a police department that's fully staffed, and that's because we had grants that came in from the state. And we see the same thing for our administrative staff. We see not only the tug from them to other communities, but we also see the private sector. Many of these individuals have skills, training, knowledge that they could go and they could take that and they could be much better compensated in the private sector. The simple fact of the matter is nobody gets rich from government work. That's not the reality. So I think that it's important when we're considering these next 3 resolutions that we consider the fact that we are trying to make ourselves increasingly a competitive employer in an increasingly competitive market. And just to remind everybody that, one, it's always cheaper to maintain the employees that you have. Going out and searching for new employees, the time it takes to train them, that is going to be a cost in itself. And then secondly, this administrative team that we have had, month in and month out, every single council session almost, we see that they are making efforts to save the city money. One just recent example is when we were going and doing a new water main behind the fire department. Tom Murray noticed that they were going to need a larger gauge for the fire, for the sprinkler system that the new fire station would have. And he was able to change that up so that we are able to save money on the fire station. We see it with Champaign Park, beautiful paved. The fact that we had multiple different of our staff working together to be able to get that paved when it's seemed impossible for years. So I just want to emphasize the importance and the value, not just the value that they can provide in services, but the financial value that they provide to the city. And with that, I'll yield.
Thank you. I will make a comment. I think that Councilman Schlack brought up some very valid points. The only one that I probably wouldn't agree with would be the out-of-state college. But I kind of view this document as not something that's stagnant. It's something that could be looked at and modified. And I think a couple of these items that you brought up would bear review. So thank you for making comment on that. Those were some valid points there. Does anybody else have any comments?
Yeah, I was going to say too, Councilman Slack, I do agree with some of the things that you did say. I did not like the $1,000 to live if you live in Allen Park. I just think that's a little discriminatory. I know I'm thinking off the top of my head, and there is one staff that's here tonight that does not live in Allen Park. I think he's a very valuable employee. Again, these things, like the mayor said, we have the right as council, it's written in here that we can change it if we need to, like within a month, within a year, whatever. I think the medical packet that we are giving the staff is excellent. I myself have where I work, a very good medical staff, and being a single mom all these years, that's what I was looking at, is the medical, the insurance. And thank you, our HR Director, Tanya, for talking to me this afternoon, going over all of that with me. I had never heard of the ASR, but I now understand that. And so I want to make sure that our staff have the best medical insurance. I said that to Councilman Lloyd. That's what I was looking at. Again, there are a few things in here, like the mayor said, I'm not too fond of, but overall, I do agree with the packet. So, and again, I like the fact that we can look at this at different times, and we can make changes and tweaks to it. So, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Appreciate that. Any more comments?
I just wanted to express thanks to Tanya as well. I reached out to her a couple times through emails just to get some clarification, and her responses that she gave me and the material that she provided answered the majority of my questions. So I wanted to thank her for that. And like Pro Tem Nick stated, you know, the understanding that this can be reviewed and will be reviewed, and things can be changed and rescinded based on the general times that we're in. So I think that's important to understand as well. And with that, I thank you.
Thank you. Very good comments. Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Thank you. Resolution 8, to approve the administrative and supervisory salaried personnel be adjusted 3.5%, which is consistent with the union contracts effective July 1, 2024. Motion.
Motion.
Wait a minute.
Jinx.
Dennis and,
Dan Lloyd.
Support.
so I have DM and DL.
Dennis, motion, Dan, support.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Don't confuse us. Are there any comments or questions?
For the chair, one more.
Yes.
This will go for my comment for 8, 9, and 10. We talked in our session before that I talked about evaluations, and I think evaluations are very important to go forward. And if you look across the board on 8, 9, and 10, the exception being 9 is employees are getting above 3.5. And I believe in evaluations not to be punitive, but I believe evaluations should be used to provide feedback to help the employee, help the city. They definitely should be used to give confidence to that employee, not to penalize them. So if evaluation doesn't go well, it doesn't mean, oh, you don't get one this year. So that is not what I believe at all. So I wanted to lay that on the table. I believe it gives a lot of opportunities for us to grow. And I believe that we should put in that policy in place as we discussed. Nothing formal yet, but I am optimistic that we can put that in place in the next year and have a citywide policy going forward, because I really truly believe it helps the employee and the city. And that's how we can maintain and have the employees that we have now. And I want to go out saying thank you to all the employees that we do have, and I have no harsh feelings nonetheless about any individual. I just wanted to speak on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 9 is to approve the salaried personnel wage adjustments for the following positions: Building Director, Payroll Manager, Deputy Parks and Recreation Director, DPS Supervisor / Basin, and Finance Director. Motion.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Second by Mr. Lloyd. Comments or questions?
To the chair.
Yes.
I just want to say real quickly that each of these individuals that has been identified for this resolution, according to the Michigan Municipal League, the MML, these are the individuals that are out of sync with what industry standards are. And again, to my previous comments, if we lost any one of these individuals, it would definitely hurt not only how the city runs here at City Hall, but the city at large. So this is in an effort to make sure that we are increasingly competitive and that we are able to maintain our staff, which I think everyone up here agrees is phenomenal. So thank you.
Thank you. Comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
No.
Opposed?
Opposed.
You have 2 noes. That would be Schlacken and Barr. Thank you. Resolution is approved. Resolution 10 is to approve the new FSLA overtime rules with certain administrative appointed staff having to go from salary to hourly pay. Motion, please.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd. second by Mr. Marcos. Comments or questions? This is a very peculiar one. The government has come out with some new guidelines and rules related to overtime and salaries. Baselines are going to change July 1st, and then again, take a tremendous loop on January 1, and because of this, we are having to change 6 of our current employees to hourly rate. Basically, we took the salary that they were going to get and converted that to an hourly rate, and they will now ensure that they will be paid for each and every hour that they work, whereas a salaried employee generally will give you some additional time at their base rate. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Thank you very much. Resolution 11, to approve the fiscal year 2023-2024 year-end budget amendments. Motion.
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
Supported by Mr. Marcos.
I thought that's.
Comments or, can I have the finance director please come up?
Did you not think we were going to ask her to come up?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Did you not think we were going to ask her to come up?
No. What am I touching on?
Is the mic on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The budget amendment.
Oh, the budget amendments, yes. So we have a handful of budget amendments for you tonight. So the state of Michigan requires that you have a balanced budget, and if not at the end of the year, you get a corrective action plan as to why you are not in compliance. So specifically at the end of June, I try to wait until the very last possible minute to make sure that everything is going to fall into place. There is a pretty significant budget amendment for the treasurer's office. So there is a treasurer's bond. So if they get sued, it's covered. Originally, I was certain that the Wayne County bond for the previous treasurer was going to be reimbursed. That's approximately, I think, $65,000. It has been reimbursed in years past. I worked with Wayne County. I tried to get a hold of the bond company, I think Alliance, I believe is the company. They apparently thought I was crazy. They said, if you've paid it, we'll reimburse you, but in the past when we've paid it, I had always gotten money back from Wayne County. So unfortunately, we are on the hook for that one. And then with a new treasurer, there is a second one. So that budget amendment is about $170,000. There are some reductions. There's a part-time salary reduction, part-time employee salary reduction in Parks and Rec, and then a handful of other smaller budget amendments. But probably the treasurer one is the biggest. There's also a budget amendment for, I mentioned earlier that retiree health care for the last several years has come in quite a bit lower. I continue to wait for that other shoe to drop for that to come up significantly. We've had really good luck the last, I think this will be the third year in a row that things have come in quite well. We've made a handful of changes that are working in our favor, but, you never know what's going to happen with healthcare, unfortunately. I know there is a budget amendment in there. One of the lines is a healthcare line for, I think, fire, who has had a string of bad luck in the medical department. So,
but I seem to recall too that we're implementing physical exam program for them that's highly recommended.
Correct.
And that we would probably be implementing that too in the future for the police department.
Yes. So, that's an if come. We're self-insured, and while it is cheaper, it can be a little bit hard to budget. Sometimes you get a win, and sometimes you lose.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions, please?
Just to be clear, it is still a balanced budget, correct?
It is still a balanced budget, yes.
Thank you.
And there is an addition in, I think state shared revenue will come in a little bit higher than originally anticipated, so also great. I'm glad people are still shopping.
I have one comment. I am going to be meeting shortly with Eric Sabri tomorrow, so I will take one more stab at that. I'll meet with you in the morning and get the information, just to make sure I'm crystal clear.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Opposed? Thank you very much. Resolution 12, to approve the recommendation of the Festivities Commission and approve the three-year sponsorship.
Sponsorship.
It'll come out. My mouth is getting dry. Sponsorship of the Allen Park Street Fair with Lee Family Dental and Resurrection Brick. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Nick.
Second.
Second by Mr. Barr. Mr. Walagora.
Basically, this is a motion to approve a 3-year contract for Lee Family Dental and Resurrection Brick to be a sponsor for the Allen Park Street Fair. Lee Family Dental will be our stage sponsor for a 3-year term at $5,000 a year. In addition, Resurrection Brick will be our shuttle sponsor for $3,500 for the next 3 years. They will be paying that rate every year by July 1. And then the other typo that we had in the, that is fixed now in the resolution is that the commission shall refund any unearned fees. That's in section 6.2 of the contract. I'll take any questions.
This is the first time that you've done like a 3-year. It's always been 1 year before.
Correct. This is the first year. We revamped our sponsorship program over the past 2.5 years. So this year it's going to be a 3-year contract. That way allows the sponsor to be able to understand the process, and then the ability for us to not have to worry about finding other sponsors for those other years as well.
Question.
Yes.
If by chance one of the businesses goes under, say in year 3.
Yes.
How would you deal with that?
So it would just be a null and void contract.
It's because you have either party can opt out.
Correct. Yeah, we can opt out if something happens, and they can opt out if they don't like it. So.
Do you have any other sponsors?
Yes, we have about, I believe, right now we're at about 10. 10, great. So we raise over about $25,000 in just sponsorship revenue.
Thank you. Any other questions? Nice work. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 13, to approve Mayor McLeod to sign the Plan Year 2023 subrecipient contract for Community Development Block Grant and certifications on behalf of the City of Allen Park. On the memo, motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Barr.
Second.
Second by Mr. Valerius.
Correct.
Finally got the voice right. The City of Allen Park has received the Plan Year 2023 subrecipient agreement for Community Development Block Grant from the Wayne County Community Development Department. This agreement is for the public services allocation of $20,000, which will be used for senior services. It is our recommendation that the mayor and council authorize Mayor McLeod to sign the Plan Year 2023 subrecipient contract for Community Development Block Grant and certifications on behalf of the City of Allen Park. We also anticipate that another agreement will be coming forward for the Historical Museum Block Grant in the amount of $141,000. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution 14, to grant or deny the regulated use permit for a proposed tropical smoothie cafe with a drive-through at 14800-14820 Southfield, conditional on meeting all of the Planning Commission recommendations and pending final approval from the Building Department. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Marcos.
Second.
Hilarious.
Second by Mr. Valerius. Mr. Baker.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is the proposed tropical smoothie
site for Southfield and Roger. The current store is across the street. They wanted to move to, there's a vacant lot, actually 3 parcels. They'd like to create a drive-through. So this was presented to the Planning Commission. They held 2 meetings on it, and it did pass because it does meet all site plan requirements. They do have a few things that they have to give to us, such as speaker, noise and stuff, but all of that'll be handled administratively, but it meets all requirements.
Thank you. I will also, I'll make a comment afterwards. Anybody else, does anyone have any comments or questions? I think it should be noted that on occasion we will hear from individuals who are behind 1 or 2 of these different establishments with drive-throughs that have complaints about sound or lights, et cetera, and those should be reported to the building department, which will review them because they are obviously not in compliance with the ordinances and the rules and regulations. So no one should have to live with light shining in their home or loud speakers from takeout order. Just I want everyone to be aware of that. They do have recourse and they should be coming to the building department on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. If there's no other comments or questions, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Resolution is approved. Thank you very much. Now we move to other business. This evening, we have third reading and public hearing of proposed ordinance 1-2024. May I have a motion, please?
Motion, Mayor.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd.
Second.
Second by Mr.
Valerius.
Valerius.
All right, Mayor, I have, for the third reading,
Wait, I think I have to ask for a vote first. Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go for it.
okay, I got the third reading of proposed ordinance number 1-2024, an ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances amending Chapter 52 zoning ordinances, Article 3, district regulations by the repeal and readoption of Section 52-610, permitted uses within a general business district. And Mayor, I ask that you open it up for a public hearing.
We are now open public hearing on this ordinance. As no one is coming forward, we will close the public hearing. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1-2024?
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd,
Second.
second by Mr. Marcos. Any comments or questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mayor, I'm going to do the final reading for the adoption of ordinance 1-2024, an ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 52 zoning ordinances, Article 3 district regulations by repeal and readoption of Section 52-610, permitted uses within a general business district. Shall this ordinance pass? Councilman Barr?
No.
Pro Tem Nick?
Yes.
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Councilman Marcos?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlack?
Yes.
And Councilman Valeris?
Yes.
The yeses have it, 6-1. The ordinances will be published as prescribed by law, and will be taken care of.
Just for clarification, because it's hard to tell from the brief overview what this ordinance was about.
Yeah, so it's abstract, just reading like this, but this came from the Planning Commission, and this is part of a development, which is a redevelopment on Van Born and Pelham.
Thank you. We will now move to the third reading and public hearing for ordinance 2-2024. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Valerius.
Second.
second by Mr. Barr. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Third reading.
All right, Mayor, I have the third reading of ordinance number 2-2024, an ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 52 zoning ordinances, Article 3 district regulations by the repeal and readoption of Section 52-442 signage within district, which is for the Fairlane Green Business District. And I ask that you open a public hearing, Mayor.
We are open for public hearing. Since no one is coming forward, we will close public hearing. Before we move on to the next section, I would ask Mr. Corvera to tell us what this ordinance actually is about.
Certainly, I may look to Matt to do that. I believe this is tied into a new development on what we call the Hill. And it would enable them to have signage on the, along Southfield, that service drive along Southfield Road. I want to make sure I'm speaking correctly.
You're on the right track, for sure.
All right.
So, yes, signage along the Southfield service drive, it allows for additional signage because it's currently maxed out, but we do have a new development going up there, so there will be no signage available for them for exposure for their new businesses. It also allows other monumental signs within the development. Currently, it's only restaurants that are allowed to have monument signs, so it kind of broadens that scope as well.
Thank you.
Isn't there, because I remember going through there, and isn't there a sign there, but it's got a lot of trees?
Which
that are
sign are you
blocking it?
referring to?
On the service drive there in Southfield?
Yeah, it's a tall, I don't know, it's probably like a 24-foot sign.
Yeah,
I mean, it may be.
okay, because I know I went past there looking at this, and I know I saw a sign, but there was quite a bit of trees and shrubbery like overgrown on it.
It's a battle sometimes getting those guys to clean up that area,
Okay,
but we work on it.
all right, so this would be in addition to the one that's already there?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Question.
Yes.
Is this development owned by the same people as the other developments up there?
No, this is a different group.
Different
Yep.
ownership, okay.
Any other questions? Well, we will move to adoption of ordinance 2-2024. Motion, please.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Lloyd, second by Mr. Marcos. It was a tie. L before M.
All right, Madam Mayor, before you, I have the final reading and adoption of ordinance number 2-2024, an ordinance of the City of Allen Park Code of Ordinances, amending Chapter 52 zoning ordinances, Article 3 district regulations by the repeal and readoption of Section 52-442 signage within the district, Fairlane Green. Shall this ordinance pass? Councilwoman Nick?
Yes,
Councilman Lloyd?
Yes.
Councilman Marcos?
Yes.
Mayor McLeod?
Yes.
Councilman Schlatt?
Yes.
Councilman Linares?
Yes.
And Councilman Barr?
Make it unanimous, yes.
The
you.
yeses have it. This ordinance shall be declared adopted and published in a manner prescribed by law. Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you. All right, elected official comments. This evening, we will start with Mr. Valerius.
Long meeting. Try to keep my comments fairly short. Just wanted to thank everyone for sitting through this long meeting. You are who we represent, and everyone up here, I feel takes their role very seriously. As council, we want to do what's best for the city of Allen Park, and that's all of us up here. Sure, we may have differences, but, we are trying to do what we feel is best for the city and for the city employees. I just wanted to state, I have the utmost respect for every one of my council members, all members of the city team, all department heads. the administrative team, and all city employees. It's been an honor for me to serve on council since 2019. And I just hope that, we could continue working to do good things for the city that I call home. On another note, I just flipped up my little calendar over to July, and the first thing that popped into my head when I saw our next council meeting was that it's on July 9th. Is that correct? Yeah. And that happens to be my birthday as well as my anniversary. So I know my wife will be very pleased and happy to find out that that evening I'll be up here with my fellow council members on that date. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. And with that, I yield.
Thank you. Mr. Marcos?
Excuse me, I didn't have a whole lot. I wanted to just remind everybody, this came out, I just got it in the mail. I was gone a week, so I don't know when it came. I got the whole package. But there's a tremendous amount of information in here about the city, and just the one thing that really caught my eye, it was his picture, it was Matt's picture, standing under these cement arches smoking. No. It was really about where all your property, how the property, I'm stealing your thunder here, I apologize. It's about property taxes, how they come about, how it's broke down, how they're paid out. Just a ton of information. And the other thing that I wanted to bring up was there's the city's financial report in here. Can't see it from there, but just showing you the book. And the thing that really caught my eye was the city receiving in the 23-24 budget $2,614,000. $2,614,717 in grants. That speaks really loud about how these people in the city work for the people here. That's a lot of money, and it shows you what they've done with it. So I urge everybody to look through this magazine, read it cover to cover. There's a lot of good things in here, and it tells you a lot about where your money's going and what things cost. So pretty much all I really wanted to talk about, other than it's, for some of us older folks, it's National Color TV Day, and it's Global Beatles Day, and my favorite is National Catfish Day. And Ed did bring up a point. I was going to mention the summer concert series, the Sean Riley Band on Thursday, and Music in the Streets with the Motown Eagles on Wednesday. So just want to let everybody know that a lot of things happening in the city as every week. So please attend, have some fun, and support your local community, okay? Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you. Mr. Baer?
Well, I'm going to have to agree with my, how do I say it, compadres? Yes. Everything that you guys have said. I want to also say to the new officers, welcome again. Congratulations to all the city anniversary milestones. We've got a wide array of different amounts of time here. I also want to say thank you to the DDA. The car show, I believe, was a success. A little hot, but not bad. Because I was there from about 1:30 in the afternoon to 9 o'clock. So, DDA, you did great. Don't forget, Independence Day is July 4th. Be safe and enjoy. Also, I do have to say one downer about the Oakland County Sheriff's Department with their loss of their one officer. As you've heard from the beginning of the meeting, it hits hard. It hits hard to the heart. I do know people in Oakland County, so my condolences to you guys. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Slack?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I'll copy and paste what all my colleagues up here said, but I also want to say, since I don't think I did, or if I did, did it in such haste. I want to do a special congratulations again to all the high school graduates and also the kindergartners that are going to enter first grade in the fall. So that's a big milestone for families on the other side, especially my son. So it's special to me. My son's going to enter first grade and he's going to turn 6. So I'm wondering where my time has went. I wanted to thank Chief Egan that came with officers that came up here, and congratulations to the officer. I was going to say recruits. You're officers now. I can't call you recruits. So thank you. I definitely look forward to everything that you're going to have to offer and everything that was said at COPS and on the corner, and that was at the library this past Friday. I was trying to get in there, but I was unable. Had that rambunctious 6-year-old that I just mentioned just wasn't handling it. But I also wanted to wish everyone a happy Independence Day this coming 4th of July. Just remember that not everyone receives those pops and booms the same way. Our seniors, our veterans, our pets, just the ones that went over the other day in our area, Inner City Baptist. My cat couldn't run fast enough, and this cat is not small. So to see her run that fast, it gave me a chuckle. Finally, I want to say again, thank you to all our staff. And again, I already beat that horse, so I'm not going to beat it again. But it's important that we really try to move forward with the best way possible and do evaluations. I think that truly benefits the city as well as the employee. And with that, I will yield. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lloyd.
It's been a long night, so I'm going to try to keep it brief, but I need to have a special appreciation for Tanya and all the work that she did on this benefits package, not just putting it together, which she put out that packet of where all that information came from. Very, very thorough, going through our bargaining agreements, going through other cities, what they have, but also just in the past week, probably, I'm sure that we can all attest, like hours on the phone, emails sent, making sure that everybody understood it and was able to come up here and make an informed vote. We are truly, truly fortunate as a city to have somebody that's a consummate professional and knows her business inside and out. So very, very appreciative of her and her efforts that she make. Fortunately, she is not one of the people that we're going to be switching to hourly because we'd break the bank. If you ever come in here after 7 o'clock, you'll usually see Tanya's light still on. So very much appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Estheimer.
Oh, you want more treasurer tax talk?
No, just comment.
All right, let's start. I'm just kidding. God bless and good night.
Just say I don't need a pillow.
Mr. Mizzy.
Just want to say thank you all for coming out tonight. God bless you and good night.
Thank you. I'm going to make mine brief.
Mayor, can I?
Oh, wait.
That's okay.
Let's see. After 5 comes 6. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure you're the last.
Oh.
You're the last one at the end.
Fatigue.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
I'll make it short. I just have a couple of shout outs. If you haven't, there's a business that started, I think it was in November. It's White Lavender on Allen Road. I went and saw them. Very nice. 2 ladies own it. And if you guys remember the candy shop that used to be where Major Tomato is, that is one of the owners, Patty. She came back to the city. She was in Wyandotte, came back to the city of Allen Park and opened up White Lavender. It's a nice little boutique. If you get the chance, please go in there and see it. Over the weekend on Wick Road, it's called Let's Get Fit. There was a ribbon cutting, and I did not know, but they had actually been in the building right next door to where they're at for 10 years in our city. And so they had a ribbon cutting. They moved over. It's fabulous. If you guys get a chance, go over there. They have trainers, personal trainers, a massage therapist. They have a sauna, physical therapy. So yes, she grew big, so she moved next door, and it's a very nice facility. So, and then the last thing is, she's not here anymore, but Ann, the resident that came up, I did receive, and it wasn't from Chris Egan, it was called Meal Train, which I'd never heard before, and it's to help people who need to give meals. So what it was is you could make a meal and take it over to that person's house. Unfortunately, I work a lot, so I sent a gift card to one of those organizations that deliver it to your home. And I would do that for any resident, any staff that, both him and his wife couldn't even move. They couldn't get up. So the meals were brought to them, and so I did contribute to that, and again, I would do that for anybody who needed the help. So with that, good night.
Thank you.
No, ma'am.
I'll follow my numbers better next time. On that fitness one, though, I think she also does nutrition, and she had mentioned that the physical fitness personal trainers are, it's a contractual thing, but the other rooms like the massage and the sauna that they have, which is not steam, it's quite fascinating with the lights, that is open to anyone. So yeah, very interesting place. And what was even more interesting that I think she might have mentioned to you is that she had relocated here from Dearborn and was very complimentary about Allen Park and the friendliness of the community and the fact that when she first moved to her new location on Wick, that people walking by would just stop and say hi. And so good work, residents. Just some real quick comments. I really did appreciate all the feedback and comments that were made by my fellow councilmen and women. I have made some notes to myself for future reference because you learn something every day, and I really do appreciate the feedback and the comments. And even one of them that occurred to me after the first ordinance reading was a little clarification of what exactly that ordinance is. We needed to have that expanded on so that there was a better realization. Somebody who's looking at the paperwork, et cetera, overall might know what it's about, but it's best for all of us and also the audience and the viewers. So just making little notes, continue to learn as you go along. Everyone have a safe 4th of July. If you're going to have any fireworks, be very, very careful with them, especially around your children. And as Mr. Schlack pointed out, not everybody appreciates it. You know, I love fireworks. I love to go to see fireworks, but I don't necessarily like them going off in my neighbor's backyard. And I know that individuals who are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, it is a tough time for them and for animals. For Mr. Barr mentioning Oakland County, that was very tragic, and infuriating and tragic at the same time. With that, all of you, please take care. Enjoy your lives and your families. Take good care of yourselves, and I will take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Ms. Nick. Second by Mr. Barr. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. We are adjourned at 7:51.